The 1983 final was the last time India took on West Indies in a World Cup knockout match, and in some time from now, the two teams will face off at the Wankhede. And up for grabs this time is a place in the final of the World T20. Hello and welcome, I am Shobit Mittal. Join the biggest build-up to the mega semi-final as India take on West Indies, and we have the most distinguished panel on TV. Joining us will be Saurav Ganguly, Nasser Hussain, Steve Waugh, Wasim Akram, Nikhil Chopra, and my co-host for today, Boria Majumdar.
You know, the stakes can't get bigger, isn't it? Wankhede Stadium, historic venue, India v West Indies, two of the most entertaining teams in this competition. One a sea of blue, the other one of the most loved teams in this competition. And to talk about them, we've got people who've been there, done that, understand a thing or two about cricket. In fact, many a thing or two about cricket. Saurav Ganguly, Nasser Hussain, Nikhil Chopra, Wasim Akram and Steve Waugh. I'll start with Saurav. Saurav, what is your gut saying? Is it India? Is it West Indies? Exactly 90 minutes to go.
It's hard to say, Boria, whether it's India or West Indies, because I think both the teams are capable of winning this game tonight, and it's going to be a good game. I'm really looking forward to the surface on which they play. I hope it's a good one, and I hope it's got some carry and bounce. West Indies have won against England in this ground, but on paper, if you ask me, I think India is a stronger side. But don't underestimate the West Indies. You know, they've got some players who can take the game away in a couple of overs, the likes of Gayle, and there's some other players in the middle order, Dwayne Bravo, Andre Russell, Lendl Simmons, who can actually win it for the West Indies on their particular day, Braithwaite. So they're a dangerous side as well. But if you ask me honestly, I feel India is a stronger side, but it'll all depend how they turn up today.
Nasser, you know, when we were just having a chat before the show, and all of India, are we sort of thinking a little too far ahead? West Indies, if you just ask the ordinary Indian on the street, the common cricket fan, he'll say we should win.
Well, I mean, if it was a 50-over game, I would say India are long favourites. But 2020, the smaller the game, the more the opposition come into it. I'd say India are still just favourites, playing at home, playing in Mumbai, getting better with every game, India. But West Indies have this fearless attitude, this carefree attitude, and it's not just Gayle, it's all the way through their side, that if Gayle doesn't hurt you, someone else will hurt you, either with bat or ball. So it's very dangerous just to presume that this is a battle between Gayle and Kohli, or this India will just walk through West Indies and go and play England in the final. Funny things happen in 2020 matches, and India will have to be at their best. They'll almost have to be like they were against Australia to beat West Indies.
Let me also bring in former Pakistani captain Wasim Akram on this discussion. Wasim, India versus West Indies, two very exciting teams. How do you think they stack up against each other?
Of course, I'm very excited. The whole country is excited. The whole Mumbai is excited. It's a big game. It's a semi-final, home team playing against the favourites, one of the favourites, West Indies. They both are, a very strong side in this format, and they played really good cricket in this World T20. So it'll be a close encounter, I can promise you that.
I'll go to Saurav for one more before I come to you, Nikhil. Saurav, many are saying it's a battle between Gayle and Ashwin at the top. Will it be the premier spinner against the big batsman, or there's much more to that? Do you think Mahendra Singh Dhoni will open with Ashwin, for example?
Yeah, I think so. I just get a feeling with Gayle on strike, he'll give Ashwin at least an over. So that's going to be the case, but I really don't feel it's a case of Gayle versus Ashwin, because there are other good players who can actually take the game away from the Indians, and who can play well. You know, Gayle is one of the opener, then there is Lendl Simmons, then there is Dwayne Bravo, then there's Samuels, then there's Andre Russell, who I think is very dangerous, then there is Darren Sammy down the order, then there is Braithwaite down the order. They bat so deep, the West Indies, and not only they bat deep, but they've got players down the line who can actually clear at will. And with Ramdin at 9, it's a serious batting lineup. So I've never believed that it's India versus Gayle, or it's West Indies versus Virat Kohli. It's a team sport, and there are a few players in this side who can actually win the game away single-handedly on their own. The Indian batting hasn't been in the best of touches, but that doesn't take away Rohit Sharma or an MS Dhoni or a Shikhar Dhawan to win it tonight single-handedly. I'm a big believer that you're one afternoon away from being back in good form, and with this Indian team on a good surface, or with this West Indian team on a good surface, anything is possible.
We have former Australian captain Steve Waugh joining us live. Shivani is live from outside the Wankhede Stadium. I'll just come to you both, but Nikhil, one quick comment. India versus West Indies. Explosive batting lineup West Indies has. So for India as a spinner, considering Ashwin will be a key factor, what should India do? First of all, bat first, bowl first, and who do you tip to win this match?
Well, without a doubt, if Team India wins the toss, they'd want to bowl first. You know, drier conditions for the spinners to go out there and extract whatever they can from that pitch. We saw the two games, England, West Indies, South Africa, England. Both teams chased down the score with great amount of ease because of the dew factor. Once that ball gets wet, A, it gets difficult for the spinners, and B, it gets much easier for the batsmen to go out there and get runs. So, you know, to get first use, you win the toss, you want to go out there and chase, give the spinners an opportunity to bowl with a drier ball.
Our lady at ground zero once again was in Mohali. She's now in Mumbai tonight. Shivani, take it away, set it up. How is it? How much are the fans asking you for tickets? What's happening? Are you putting the tricolour on your face? Take it away.
That's right. I will be doing that, but I'm waiting for an Indian win for that, Bolia. So fingers crossed. Of course, lots of fans have started coming in. I'm actually just opposite Marine Drive, where, you know, just ahead of me is where this Wankhede Stadium is, and fans have started coming in hordes here. You don't even have to tell them anything before they start chanting India, India. So I have this young fan with me. Are you confident India will win today?
Yes.
Why?
Because Kohli is in Kohli is in full form, and I think that Kohli and Dhoni would do the batting today.
Okay. All right, Kohli and Dhoni is all that India has been talking about, because really these two batsmen are the ones who've got the numbers. If you compare the West Indies top order, which is the top two, and the Indian top two, it's actually a daylight difference. So we don't want to see again something of that. But here fans are also expecting that India will be batting first, because it sounds like a batting first pitch here. The women's are playing a match actually, once again, the way it was in Mohali. So we'll have to wait and see just what changes that makes to the pitch, but perhaps not much. What should be a good score today?
Anything about 200?
Above 200, wow.
Definitely, because India is playing. I think it should be a batting second, not a batting first, because we are good in chasing and we have Virat with us. So,
but what if Chris Gayle then gets a big one?
Doesn't matter. If Virat is there, there is no Chris, there is no Gayle, there is no one. Rohit Sharma is going to have a big knock today. Yes. It's a home.
At the Wankhede is actually close to 200. So whoever bats first would like to touch that target. Anything less than that could be precarious for the kind of batting lineup both these teams have. I was having a conversation with the West Indies legend Clive Lloyd earlier, and you were discussing about Chris Gayle and Virat Kohli. He said the same thing as Saurav and everybody else, that it's not just about two batsmen. West Indies have a lot of match winners, so do India. So let's have a chant for India one more time. India! India! India!
Absolutely, Shivani. We'll stay outside Wankhede. We'll keep coming back to you as we build up to that toss ahead of the big semi-final. Let me bring in former Australian captain Steve Waugh on this. Steve, tough luck. Yes, the Aussies are out. Now will you back India to go on and win this cup?
Yeah, well, I said last night I thought England were the favourites to win the game. So they had good form going in. So I'm a big believer in momentum coming into semi-finals and finals. And for that reason, I think India are favourites. West Indies lost their last game to Afghanistan. And that to me wasn't a great sign. You should be building momentum rather than having it sort of taken away from you. So I'm looking forward to the game now. There's match winners on both sides. There's a lot of talk about Gayle versus Kohli, but there's many more match winners in both sides. And for India, someone like Rohit Sharma might be time for him to step up tonight. For the West Indies, I think Andre Russell is a key player with both the bat and ball. They have six hitters all the way down their lineup. So it's going to be an exciting game to watch. I mean, it's. I wish I was one of the fans there at Marine Drive, soaking up the atmosphere. I know what it's like to play at the Wankhede Stadium. It's an amazing ground. That'll be a real challenge for Darren Sammy too, under pressure, having a huge crowd cheer against you. You've really got to think calmly and precisely. So it's going to be a challenge for him to get the attention of his players. And you can't afford not to concentrate every ball, because it might be one ball that costs you a catch if you're in the wrong position, or it may give away four. So the West Indies are going to have to remain sharp and focused, and at all times make sure they're looking at their captain.
Absolutely. Now, of course, the entire talk has been surrounding Virat Kohli versus Chris Gayle battles. Now, Steve, we will discuss in detail, we'll compare the two players, but as a captain, if you had to pick one, who would you pick, Virat Kohli or Chris Gayle?
Well, that's. I think it depends on what else you've got in the rest of your team. The West Indies, whilst they're not a one-man show, they feed a lot of the confidence of Gayle up front. So if he gets off to a good start, it's sort of infectious for the rest of the players. Where Kohli comes in a bit later for the Indian side. So I think if I was to say who's probably the more influential player, it's probably Chris Gayle, because he has the chance to sort of at the start of the game set the tone for the rest of the players.
The whole country is actually taken by this cricket fever. We'll go to Bangalore now to our colleague Pratibha. Pratibha, take it away. How is the cricket fever in Bangalore? What are the fans saying? Is the buzz, really like what Shivani was describing in Mumbai? Just take it from there.
Well, in fact, all these fans are mighty excited because all eyes leading to the Wankhede Stadium, all of them pre-declaring that Team India is going to win. But one cannot really underestimate the power of West Indies, right?
Yes, we cannot underestimate the power of West Indies. Chris Gayle is the biggest threat, but we are confident of our boys, Team India. So our batting starting should be very, very good. So let's hope that Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan, if he's playing, then he should definitely start with a bang.
So what is your take on this? Team India is going to really...
No, for sure India is going to win today. And Gayle, Ashwin is there. So obviously, I think Dhoni will give a second or third over to Ashwin, and he surely will take Gayle's wicket. So India is going to win today.
Right. So what about Virat Kohli and Dhoni? I mean, most of the matches we have only seen these two players take it off with respect to numbers. So are you really banking on them today as well?
Yes, Virat Kohli and Dhoni, they are excellent players. If you see till date in the World Cup, their performance, they have did very extraordinary. But I want this other four players also, Rohit, Dhawan, Raina.
Dhoni are the two players that the whole country is looking forward to once again to win this match for India, isn't it?
It's a major key.
So let's hear it for Team India then. So will there be any chance? Back to you.
Thanks, Pratibha. Thanks. The whole country is talking cricket at this moment as we do.
Just over half an hour to go for that mega India versus West Indies semi-final at the Wankhede. And we've got the best, just over an hour to go. Yes, just over half an hour to go for the toss. And we've got the best panel on Indian television right here. Saurav Ganguly is live with us. And so is former Australian captain Steve Waugh. Wasim Akram is live. And we have former England captain Nasser Hussain right here in the studios. Nikhil Chopra is also live with us right here. And but first, my colleague Shivani Gupta caught up with former West Indies captain Clive Lloyd, who says it's hard to pick a winner between India and West Indies. Lloyd, though, has warned that there are many more match winners in the West Indies team than Chris Gayle.
How's the team preparing for the semi-final against India? What are your thoughts on this big match?
Well, yes, it's obvious it's anybody's game. It's who plays well in the day. We have some pretty good match winners. India playing at home, they'll have a lot of support. So yes, I don't know if it'll give England, India that edge, but yes, I think it should be a very good game of cricket.
Is the West Indies batting lineup too dependent on Chris Gayle? That's the feeling people get from the outside. What do you feel? Because you're close to the team.
Well, Mark Samuels have done extremely well. We had Fletcher did very well. Now we have Simmons coming in. We've got match winners, and we have Bravo, who wasn't really come off as yet. So we have players who can give us a total to defend or to chase a total down. It's good to have somebody like Chris. It's just like India without Kohli, I presume.
I was coming to that.
Yeah, but that's how the cricket is. You always have one or two guys who will forge ahead. India has Kohli, and the West Indies do have Chris Gayle.
Apart from Virat Kohli, who do you think is the most dangerous player, batsman or bowler in the Indian team?
Well, you have Ashwin, who's a good off spinner. You have a couple of your quicks. You have Jadeja. You have Dhoni as a batsman. Your top order hasn't been making a lot of runs, so that's why I'm saying it's sort of even. But I think the West Indies would like to give a good account of themselves and try and get into the final, because that's what you're playing for.
Clive Lloyd sounding the bugle there, saying many more match winners than Chris Gayle. Saurav, coming to you, there is a talk that we are hearing from the Indian camp that 2 changes are a possibility. One, Shikhar Dhawan gives way to Ajinkya Rahane at the top as an opener and Manish Pandey for Yuvraj Singh. Would you do that?
Yeah, it's not a bad option, I think. I think the batting is still well protected. Shikhar Dhawan hasn't been in the best of touches, and they've brought in Ajinkya Rahane. My only worry in that combination is that West Indies will have Samuel Badri bowling at the top of the order, who's a leg spinner. They'll have Suleiman Ben, who's a left-arm spinner. So to actually take Shikhar Dhawan out of the game, I'm not too sure whether that's the right way to go at the top, because if Samuel Badri bowls right-arm leg spin, it's Ajinkya Rahane and it's Rohit Sharma at the top. So I think that's an area where India they're trying to bring in fresh heads who hasn't been hit by the failures of this World Cup so far, trying to make a change at the top because of the lack of form. I don't think it's that much of a difference, but they just got to be careful with the leg spinner and the left-arm spinner right up there.
Nasser, Saurav says it's not a bad option. In fact, what we are hearing is that Mahendra Singh Dhoni thinks Ajinkya Rahane in the middle order might not be the best option. Rather, if you want to have Ajinkya Rahane, get him to open. Would you actually go with 2 changes, or you think it's a bit of too much of experimentation in a big semi-final?
Well, it's not experimentation. They're all good players, but in a big semi-final, I'd probably want to just make the 1 change. I've always thought Rahane is a super player. Really, he's a very, very good player. Just shows how good India are that he doesn't get in the side. So for me, I'd just have a straight swap. Rahane in for UV, to be honest. So if anything, the only time they're going to miss UV maybe is if they get to Calcutta and it spins in a final. They would have liked a few overs, but Mumbai, I don't think he would have bowled much anyway, so you're not losing a bowling option. I wouldn't change it. I would give Dhawan and Rohit 1 more chance on a belter of a pitch in Mumbai to show what they can really do.
Let me bring in Steve Waugh on this. Now Steve, what we are hearing from the Indian camp is that Dhawan may be dropped to bring in Rahane at the top of the order and Manish Pandey comes in the middle. But like Nasser said right now, will it be too much of an experimentation going into a semi-final of the match? Because after this, it's only the final. If you have to experiment, it's now, is it?
Yeah, I think it's a bit late for experimentation. I would keep Shikhar Dhawan at the top of the order, left and right-hander. He's a match winner. I mean, he's missed out a couple of times. He's probably only 1 or 2 good shots away from being in form, such as the T20 format. I just make 1 change, bring Rahane in for Yuvraj Singh in the middle order. Don't disrupt the team too much. They've had a winning combination for over a year now, so I don't think it'd be the right time to make 2 changes, particularly in a big match. And as Saurav said before, there's going to be the ball turning away from the right-hander, so you really want a left-hander at the top of the order. I would play Shikhar Dhawan. I think he's a match winner. I think he's a superb player when he's in form, and he just needs to get 1 big shot away early, and he could be the match winner for India.
Nikhil, your opinion?
Well, I'd make the 1 change. Ajinkya Rahane, big semi-final, you don't need to make too many changes. Shikhar Dhawan, if you look at all the batsmen in the barring the game in Mohali, the kind of tracks that you've got. The one in Nagpur, everybody struggled. The wicket was not the best.
Right.
Calcutta, unfortunately, because of the rain, the ball was gripping. Then even at Bangalore, not the greatest of strike. So he really hasn't had a go at a good batting track, apart from the last game at Mohali. So I'd still say, feet are moving, I'd still give him another go. And Ajinkya Rahane, when everybody says in slow tracks, he doesn't get it going. Mumbai, the ball is going to come on, it's got a bit of bounce. He will enjoy batting there. It will suit his style of batting.
Right. I mean, if
so, just the 1 change.
Just the 1 change.
Ajinkya Rahane, yeah.
But then Rahane bats at what position? 4?
He'll bat at 4 until unless Mahendra Singh Dhoni says, I'm going to take the reins, take the bull by the horns. I want to come and bat number 4. Then it's a different scenario altogether.
Right. All right. But it's the biggest match of the World T20 so far, isn't it? India battle West Indies for a place in the World T20 final and take on England for the title. And all the action is happening in Mumbai at the Wankhede Stadium. And my colleague Shivani is there getting ready for the big battle. Shivani, take it away.
Thanks a lot, Shobit. The clock is ticking, isn't it, for that big match here at the Wankhede. I'm just at the Marine Drive, as I mentioned earlier, where fans are actually thronging this picturesque street in Mumbai, and then they're preparing to go and walk into the Wankhede Stadium as well. I'm this very big fan of the Indian team who's come all the way from California. You're traveling with the Indian team, you're watching all the matches, you've come specially from USA.
That's correct. I've come from California. Go Team India.
And you are happy so far with the performance of the team?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've been happy for the last 10 years.
You're not worried about the batting lineup?
No, we're going to steamroll them today.
What makes you such a big cricket fan?
Well, our team's consistency. We have world-class players like Dhoni, Virat Kohli, and today we would like to see a performance of Rohit Sharma and Shikhar Dhawan. They need to.
We wonder whether Shikhar Dhawan is going to be part of the playing 11. You guys were discussing the top order and the middle order. Another name perhaps could be of Pawan Negi is in the mix. Let me ask the public here. युवराज बाहर हो गए, उनकी जगह किसको आना चाहिए टीम में? रहाणे, पांडे या पवन नेगी?
रहाणे को आना चाहिए. रहाणे.
Well, no prizes for guessing. This is Rahane's hometown, so everybody wants Rahane to play the big match. But Manish Pandey का नाम ज़्यादा ऊपर आ रहा है. क्या वो अच्छे T20 batsman?
Yeah, he's a good batsman, but comparing with Rahane is quite good.
Should he open in place of Shikhar Dhawan?
Yeah, I think so.
He will be good at the top of the order.
Yes.
All right. So Rahane gets the thumbs up here because this is his home ground at the Wankhede.
Right.
But as I was mentioning earlier, what you need is a big total on this pitch for any team. But as you take it back to the studio, India is expected to score a big one, and then we are hoping that they can hold the West Indies batsmen as far as that Wankhede battle is concerned. Shobit, back to you in the studio.
Well, thanks, Shivani. Just stay right there. We'll keep coming back to you ahead of the toss. Now, Mumbai will witness a battle between two mega stars in a quest to win a ticket to play the final. It will be a clash between Virat Kohli and Chris Gayle, who will go all out to pulverize the opposition.
If Virat has an average of over 122 in chasing targets successfully, Gayle averages over 56. Kohli smashes every sixth ball to the boundary, and Gayle takes 4.5 balls to smash one. Kohli scores a 50 every 2.6 innings. Gayle takes 3 innings to achieve one. When Virat scores a 50, India win 80% of their matches. And when Gayle scores one, West Indies win 73% of their matches. In the current World T20, Virat and Gayle have played some incredible innings. Against Pakistan, Virat scored 55 not out of 119 runs. That's 46% of the runs. Against Australia, he scored 82 not out of 161 runs. This is 51% of the runs. Gayle too has left his mark, smashing an unbeaten 100 out of 183 against England. That's 54.6% of the runs. The stage is now set at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai for a Virat versus Gayle show. There is no doubt that a cracker beckons. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Let's take this to Nasser and Steve. Gayle versus Virat. It's a big showdown, but will I be right if I say Gayle more flashy, more destructive, but Virat more dependable?
Yeah, Chris Gayle a little bit more hit or miss, but quite often hits. I think he's got something like 17 T20 hundreds, and that's 10 more than anyone else in the world. So he does destroy you when he goes big. It's a nice combination actually. You got the power hitting of Gayle and the touch and flair of Virat Kohli. It shows you just don't have to be one way. You don't have to be in the gym every single day. I know Virat is, but you don't have to be like Chris Gayle to be successful. I'd say under pressure, who would I say would deliver more often? I would say under pressure, I would go with Virat Kohli. He's already shown that in this tournament. Under pressure chasing against Pakistan, against Australia, he will deliver. So a little bit more hit or miss, but on this ground, as England found out, Chris Gayle can be very dangerous, and that's something you've got to factor in. When you've had a good record and you've had a good knock on the ground, you go back there, you've got good memories, so India will have to be watchful of Gayle.
Let me just take that to Steve also. Steve, as captain, if you were asked to choose between Chris Gayle and Virat Kohli, who would you choose?
Difficult question. Like Nasser said, they've both got compelling numbers. Tremendous players. Technically, I think Virat Kohli is probably a better player. Chris Gayle is a little bit loose in his defence, but he's probably more damaging in the first 10 or 20 balls he faces. He really goes after the attack. So it depends, as I say, what other batsmen you've got around those two. The big bonus is for both teams' other batsmen is they're flying below the radar. All the focus is on two players, and that presents an opportunity for one of the other players to sort of pop their head up and to be the star for the day. So I think that's a good thing for the other players in the side, because everyone's talking about Kohli, everyone's talking about Gayle. Don't be surprised if both those guys fail tonight and someone else puts their hand up to be the star. But I think if I had to pick one batsman to win me the game, I'd go for Virat Kohli, because he's technically under pressure, everything holds up, and he's got such great match awareness. He knows where the gaps are, and he knows when to up the ante. He's got a really good sense for seizing the momentum when it's required.
Absolutely. Let me bring in Wasim also. Now, Wasim, Steve picks Kohli, but let me speak to you about Chris Gayle, who's just smashed the fastest century in World T20 history. Now, what kind of strategy can a bowler adopt when facing Chris Gayle?
My advice would be to start off, obviously don't give him any room because he uses his crease beautifully. He's mainly a front foot player, and from there he also hooks as well and pulls. So, that's his strength. Don't give him room. Try to just go cross him, with short of a length, slip in place for first 2-3 overs and see if he swings or not, and then fine leg up, square leg back to start off with. This should be the plan.
Let me actually ask that same question of Saurav. Saurav, if on a good batting wicket like at the Wankhede, what should be India's strategy against Chris Gayle?
I think I will start with the fast bowlers, to be honest, because Jasprit Bumrah and Ashish Nehra both take it away from the left-hander. So there is a possible with the new ball on that Wankhede pitch, which has got a bit of bounce, to take it away from Chris Gayle. And if it doesn't work, then maybe give Ravichandran Ashwin an over to bowl in the 5 overs, or a couple if the ball's spinning. But I will actually not rule out the fast bowlers to Chris Gayle at the Wankhede. In the previous games, Kangiso Rabada got him out pitching it up. Then the game before, he got out to a fast bowler with the pitched up delivery. He just hangs back a lot in his crease early on, and I think someone like Ashish Nehra or Bumrah, who actually pitches it up, can create problems. And that's the way to go. If I was Chris Gayle, actually I would look to bat 20 overs. And if I had that much of power and ability as Chris Gayle had, just look to bat 20 overs. Don't worry about the run rate, because Chris Gayle needs 1 over to change everything. He can hit 5 sixes in 1 over and change the game. And I think that's the way he plays T20 cricket. But up front, I look to attack him with the ball pitched up.
Absolutely. Chris Gayle can hit 5 sixes in an over, can't it, like Saurav said. But Nikhil, Chris Gayle has actually hit 98 sixes in T20s, just 2 shy of 100. He'll be the first player to hit 100 sixes in T20s if he does so in this match. So Saurav says start with pacers. Would you have started with a spinner against Gayle?
Well, I'd go with pace and spin combination. I'd want to give Ashwin an opportunity. Who's my best bowler today in terms of somebody I can rely on taking wickets against the left-hander? Give him the over. Ask him to bowl around the wicket, try and spin it from within the wickets. If it doesn't spin, then of course over, work with the angles, take the pace off. I need my number 1 bowler to attack the number 1 player from the opposition. If he can get out Chris Gayle early enough, that's my best chance. Chris Gayle gets to about 15-20, then to look to pick up his wicket will get more and more difficult. Virat Kohli, you look at the champions of the game. They spend a little bit of time on the wicket, get used to the pace and bounce. Very rarely do they make a mistake, and especially in a big occasion.
Absolutely. We've got Swati live from Horsecast Village in New Delhi. Swati, hold on. We'll just come to you. But the action is happening at Wankhede in Mumbai. Shivani, go ahead. How are the fans looking forward to this encounter?
Well, Shobit, since we are in Mumbai, I have Mumbai's icon Shivaji with me. Now, here's a fan who's come from Bangalore, but you dress the way the city's icons are, isn't it?
Yeah, it's right. Wherever I go, according to that state, I used to get ready. And today, especially, I came like Shivaji ji. So, because Shivaji ji will give a full support to entry team. And today, we are going to win against West Indies. And we are going to celebrate today. This is the first time I'm coming to Mumbai. I love Mumbai. Today, I'm going to celebrate with all Mumbai people Diwali.
All right. And here's a gentleman who's come dressed as Dhoni, but you look a little bit more like Sachin Tendulkar.
Yeah, my darling is Sachin Tendulkar. My heart is the Dhoni. I'm coming from Chennai. 8 years I'm a local boy in Chennai, only watching match. My dream is World Cup matching. Nagpur, Kolkata and Bangalore, Mohali come to semi-finals, the Wankhede Stadium. Again go to Eden Garden, the Kolkata. Dhoni is get the cup, World Cup.
Alright, one cheer for Dhoni then.
Enga Tala எப்போ ஆடுவார் எப்படி ஆடுவார் யாருக்குமே தெரியாது. ஆனா ஆட வேண்டியதுல கரெக்ட்டா ஆடுவார். This is the superstar dialogue.
Alright. Some other fans here. You guys have come from Delhi, isn't it? How are you going to be supporting the team?
Actually, I came from Australia all the way, and I think today I can see the crowd. Crowd is amazing. We're supporting India. I think India will win the match. That's the reason we're here for. But I'm expecting if the batsmen will do the good job, I think India will win the match.
All right, so let's have one final cheer for India as we throw back to the studios. Everyone here, hopeful of an India win?
Yes! India! 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 Dhoni! 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 Dhoni!
Clearly at fever pitch outside the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai, but even the fans in the capital are gearing up for this match. Swati joins us from Horsecast village, where I'm sure a lot of screens are being put up for this match. Swati, go ahead.
Yes, certainly the stage is set, and the Dhoni boys are also ready as India is just about to take West Indies in a while now. Today's match is going to be really decisive as it's going to decide the fate of India in the World T20 match. Well, Dhoni boys are ready, so are the fans here. I'm standing here at the Horsecast village and you can see the fans here. The fans here are in sync with the Team India, in sync with the tricolour, with their face paint, with the tricolour flag, with the Team India t-shirts. They're all set here and are ready to cheer for the Team India, and most of them have taken a day off for the match specially. So how you're going to support Team India today?
As you all can see, we have painted our faces, we are ready with the flags. Go Team India!
So especially for the match, you have taken a day off.
Yes, definitely we have taken a day off, and we'll enjoy this day with this, we'll relish this beautiful salad which we have in front of us right now. I'm looking forward, for Team India to win. Go Team India, go!
Definitely. And how do you think that Dhoni's boys were going to tackle the Chris Gayle storm today?
Definitely, Virat Kohli stopped the Gayle, definitely.
And since Yuvraj is not playing, so do you think that is going to be a setback for the Team India or for the fans?
No, ma'am, not at all. There's like a lot of people are there, a lot of team efforts are there. It will be helping us. Kohli is there, obviously.
So he is yes, of course. Mr. Cool, the Dhoni. Yeah, he's the most wisest man,
So how you're going to cheer today, and because match is just about to start?
Yo, India, go!
So as you can see, the people are here, are ready, and match is just about to start, and the craze, the enthusiasm, the excitement is not going to stop here because the match is just about to start, and these people out here are all ready to cheer Team India. Back to
Thank you,
studio.
Swati. From Vuvuzelas to Shivaji to Dhoni to Tendulkar, you will find everything in India. That's why we are the nerve center of world cricket. 10 minutes.
Now, Pakistan captain Shahid Afridi might have landed himself in trouble yet again while speaking about fans in India. Asked about fans in Mohali before their match with New Zealand on Tuesday.
Go to different villages across India and actually stay there for a month and see the villagers, help them. And what it does is it opens your eyes to a whole new part of India that you never really saw before. So Amrita gives